This is a short talk about health. It's quite interesting that, because I teach a lot about health, that sometimes, even though you teach about health and you tell people how they can improve their health, either through the process of simple breathing, which raises your oxygen levels, or the process of the food that you eat and which you process within the body, or through some simple exercises and yoga, that you can have a fantastic positive effect on this system, which is the body. It's interesting that even though you tell people, not everybody wants to take the effort to really change this. So if they don't want to take the effort, it makes it quite difficult to realize that we are actually causing our own sickness. Nobody wants to be sick. Let's put that very clear. Nobody wants to be sick. There's nobody who goes to a McDonald's and thinks, oh, I'm going to make sure that now I'm going to get myself nice and sick. No, that's not the case. It's, of course, people just go with the flow of certain things that happen in their life. And because of that, they just tatter along a little bit. And instead of taking their health into their own hands, they just go along with what society teaches us. And what is being taught by society mainly is from the mainstream media, and which comes a lot from advertising and what have you. So that is not a very interesting source to get your information. So taking it in your own hands means the food that you digest, to realize that what you eat is actually what you become. And a lot of people don't realize this. What you eat is what you become. So what you eat, what you become, that means, yes, if you eat pork, then there will be certain hormones in there, and they will have been injected with certain medications to make sure that they remain healthy. It might be antibiotics, it might be other drugs to make sure that they don't get certain diseases. They will get certain food which makes them grow faster. So there's lots of things going on there. So when a sentient being is being brought to the slaughterhouse, he knows that death is imminent. And therefore, there will be a release of certain hormones and other materials in the body that will cause it to start defending itself, which in itself are also unhealthy, but you will eat them too. So that means that whatever we eat is what we become, ultimately. This whole body consists of the food products that we eat. And the food products that we eat create each cell in this body. That's a very interesting thought to remain. What you put into it is ultimately what the body will become. So very important. This whole body is created by what you put into it. The world is wonderful. It is wonderful in the sense that everything this body needs to be built up, and everything that you need is already here in this world. And it is here in herbs, it is here in vegetables, it is here in fermented vegetables, it is here in so many different ways. Easy to digest, good for the stomach, with a positive effect both on the mental state as well as on the physical state of being. More and more information is coming out proving this, proving that whatever goes through the system that we use to digest food ultimately will help our mental health and also help the way we feel. So we can have a fantastic positive effect. We can also give it some additions. Some additions can be either to detox the body, for which there are various ways. I won't get into all the ways of detox, nor into all the ways of health food. That's a completely different story and different video. But so that you know you can do this. But sometimes I tell people, if you eat this, and if you take that, and if you adjust this, and if you adjust that, you can become a healthy person. Then sometimes people tell me, oh, that's a lot of work. That takes a lot of intention and strength to really put myself to this test. Yes, we can also become sick. We can just decide to become sick. Nobody wants to be sick. But sometimes we decide that taking care of our health is just too much work. Once we become sick, or we're willing to do anything and everything, because then we suddenly realize this might be life's end. This might be how my life ends. And now I'm interested in doing anything and everything. But it would be so nice if we would start with that long before the time comes that we are actually sick. We have created this sickness within the body. The body doesn't need to become sick. Yes, it will ultimately grow old, and ultimately there will be certain results from, for instance, the DNA, although even that is changeable, which is another video. That has a lot to do with mantras and with prayer and with meditation. You can adjust the DNA, you can adjust the cell structure, you can have a positive effect on that. But realizing that once you are sick, that you're willing to do everything is of course an extraordinary thing, because why weren't you interested in your personal health before this? Why aren't you interested in your personal health right now? Exercise has a positive effect on this, but definitely yoga exercise, which is a form of exercise in itself, has a positive effect. And meditation has a positive effect. Going inward instead of always going outward and realizing all these things that happen in the outward world. The inward world is like a fantastic journey, which you can find and see in many of the other videos that I post on this channel. So I hope you will take your health into your own hands, because that's the only reason why I make this video, that you take your health in your own hands. You can do it. And it doesn't mean you will never be sick. That's a completely different story. I every once in a while get sick, or I get a cough. That's nice, because it gives me some nice downtime where I can finally say, okay, I'm not doing that many things today. I'm just taking it easy because my body requires this. That's okay. But you can have such an immense impact on your health. And sure, like I said, DNA has an effect on it, and the place where you live. Living under high electricity poles, or living in an area that's very polluted, or living in an area that has many heavy metals in the water or whatever. Sure, that has an effect. But even those things you can change, you can do something about. You can change the place where you live, or you can decide not to live there. You can also detox and get the heavy metals out of your body. All these things are possible. So my invitation to you is take health into your own hands. Take it into your own hands. It's yours. The body is fantastic. It works perfectly. It's beautiful. Please take it in your hands before it goes wrong. Namaste.